Okay, so I was thinking about the fastest way that I have been manifesting things, and the one that I got the most results with was actually just like my mental diet, or just like changing the story about what I was saying and thinking and believing about this certain thing or person or whatever. I had decided to go all in, and I was like, these are the things that I'm having an issue with. And like, you can write down the triggers. Like, I write down, like, okay, I'm gonna manifest money. Here are my triggers: when I go to the bank, and when I go to fill up my gas, and when I go grocery shopping. Those are the times that I really need to be aware of what I'm thinking and where my focus is going. And then when I'm manifesting, I was manifesting everything in my life is perfect. I was like, okay, where would my triggers be that, things in my life aren't being perfect? And, I'd say my dogs, because they pee on the floor, or like, my boyfriend at the time, or, my friend who was just always like really negative and stuff. And my self-concept, of course, I was trying to change at the same time. So I would say, those were my triggers, or the things that I knew I needed to be really aware of if I was just affirming that everything in my life is perfect. And I noticed when I did that, though, when I really just, because I think a lot of us want like the fastest, easiest way to get stuff done without actually having to do work. And so we'll constantly consume these videos because we're like, oh, I'm not getting it yet, or there must be some other way. And it's just like, it does take a little discipline. But the first week that you do it, after you do it for a week, it gets so much easier. So this is like the challenge I want us to do, is this week is to really just focus on changing the stories. And if you notice yourself start thinking about stuff that you shouldn't be thinking about, or dwelling in it, then I want you to just like cut them off. You don't even have to flip them, but just stop talking about them. Like, cut them off. Just be like, shoo, 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 shoo. It's all good. It's all good. When I was affirming that everything in my life is perfect, I was affirming it like nonstop, all day, every day. And I had some pretty bad stuff happen. I don't know if it's because I believed in a purge, but I thought that everything in my life was just going to end up being perfect, and it flipped upside down, and it was too overwhelming to like persist through, because I was really like trying to find a place to live, and it was just hard to like act like everything in my life was perfect when it was like falling apart. So you could just be like, it's all good, just say that. But when I did this mental diet thing, when I decided to go all in with this whole I always have brain farts when I make these, but when I decided to do everything in my life is perfect, and I decided to change the story, it took a couple days for most of the stuff that I was talking about. Like, my friend who's negative, like, she is always in victim state. And see, the story I'm telling about her right now, but yeah, she's always in victim state. And this girl, every time I told her how manifesting works, I'm like, you're creating it, they're not doing anything to you, like, you need to work on your self-concept, blah, 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 all this stuff. She just would not get it. It did not register with her. She would instantly start talking about the old story. Like, she just was not getting it. And then I decided to change that story, and I was like, you know what, no, she does get it. And I was like, she's gonna do what she needs to do for her to be better. And I persisted in that story, and it wasn't like I had to affirm all the time. I just had like a mental diet, and every time I thought about her, I was like, nah, like, she gets it. And the first time I have ever seen her actually try, she started manifesting and started like actually applying and doing self-concept. And I was the one that actually like got her off track, which is sad, but because I was doing self-concept and I had a lot of triggering stuff, and then I got her off track, and that sucks. And she was like, she got me back on track, which is crazy because it was always me that was getting her back on track. So there was that. And then when I was doing my self-concept, I really just embodied this person that like could talk to people. And you know, usually I'm like introverted and like shy, and I went to school, my son's school, and I was like, you know what, I'm not that person anymore. I am this confident person. And I literally sat down with one of the girls at school, and I just had a full-blown conversation like it was nothing, because I had fully embodied that, and I just decided that that's who I was. And it was so easy. Like, you know, the hard part I think is like not falling off of the wagon, because I think that's everybody's like biggest thing, is like staying consistent, you know, because your ego does try to intervene, and it does feel like it's real, and then your logical mind is just like trying to make sense of everything. And like, so I think that's the hardest part, because even while I did that and stuff, like I still, after like a while, I just stopped doing it, because I don't know why, but I want to go all in again. And sometimes it's just like getting like not the courage, but sometimes you just gotta get ready and like, you know, build it up in your mind that like, this is it, this is the time, I'm gonna do it. And then you start over, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you'll be just in a bad state for a while, or you just feel like you don't know what you're doing, and then one day you're like, nope, it's time to do this again. So let's be disciplined for a week. Notice your triggers, write down like, okay, first be specific in what you want to manifest, write it down, like, okay, we're focusing on money. And I feel like if you focus on too many things, that's kind of when you start like crumbling, and it becomes hard and work. So I would focus on like a couple things that you want to change first, and then write those down, and then write your triggers. What is going to cause you to go back to your old self, and then really like either try to avoid those altogether. Like, oh, if you're waiting for a text from your SP in the mornings and you don't get it in the mornings, then don't touch your phone in the mornings, you know what I mean? Or like try to just stay away from the things that you know are gonna trigger the out of you, right? And then and then know like, okay, if I'm affirming for this, what things do I need to really pay attention to? When do I really need to pay attention to what I'm thinking? Because remember, it's okay too if you do fall off and you stop thinking about what you're supposed to be thinking about, is fine. Remember that it's not the thoughts that are manifesting, it's like the momentum that these thoughts have gotten. So if you're dwelling constantly in those thoughts, that's what's going to manifest, unless you say it doesn't, which is fine too. You can say that. But you know, it's the thoughts that get a lot of momentum or are backed up by a lot of emotion, right? Because the emotion is like the thing that pushes it even farther. So yeah, let's see, what was I talking about? See, I have brain farts when I make these. Yeah, so yeah, notice your triggers, and yeah, if you fall off, just get back on. As soon as you notice, even if it's been a day, just get back on. Just do it again, do it again, do it again. And it's just redirecting. That's like, you don't have to like flip every single thought, but like, you know, when you start noticing that, hey, my thoughts have been going in the wrong direction for a while, then correct it. You know, be like, actually no. Because a lot of the times I notice if I felt that I had you know, messed up by thinking the wrong way for too long, I felt like I was starting over, and it just felt like I was like, I can't do this. And it's like, it's really not like that. It's like, the more consistently you return to your decision, right? It's not letting the old story or the past or whatever take you over. It's knowing that I've made this decision, and I don't care what I see, I don't care what thoughts are coming up, I'm choosing this decision, and I'm returning to choose this decision. And you just keep doing that, and eventually it will push out. So for 1 week, I want you to try it, because a lot of people on my channel, and me too, you guys, like I know I do this. I know that I just search for videos, and I'm like, I don't know why I do it. I know how to do this. Everybody knows how to do it. But for some reason, we just feel like we're confused, which is also like not standing in our power when we're like, I don't know how to do this, you know? So I want you to like not really look at these videos anymore either. Like, stop watching them and know that I know how to do this, because like that's also a state. If you're not really confident in yourself or your abilities, and you're constantly asking questions like, okay, how do I do this? Like, you know, with your SP2, when are they gonna show up? How do I get them? Do they like me? Like, all those questions and stuff. It's like, you know the answers. You know how to manifest. You know that. Do they like you? Yes, they do, because you're the one creating that. And we all know this, but I feel like it's just like the logical mind likes to take over. But we know. You all know how to manifest, right? It's focus on what you want, live in the end, persist until it hardens its fact. That's it. That's literally it. But it's like people get so tripped up about it for some reason. And it can be simple, you guys. I've manifested stuff with just a mental diet, and like in no time, literally in no time. It was just not allowing those old thoughts to like come in. But it does feel complicated and hard sometimes, because you have that mind that's pushing back against you. But once you do it for like a week, it will get easier. And that's when you get to a week, I want you to keep going after a week. But once you get to a week, it's going to be so natural and easy that like it's not going to feel like a struggle as much anymore. And once you're there, you can keep going until it pushes out, right? So let's just try for a week though, because you're going to start seeing movement and a lot of things when you actually apply this. Because a lot of us are watching videos but not actually applying it. And sometimes it feels hard, dude, and that's okay. It's fine. Just, you know, intend. Say, I'm giving this to myself. I'm giving myself an easy process. Like, this is going to be easy for me to do. And just know and trust and allow that that's going to be how it unfolds for you in an easy way. So, and if it's hard, it's fine. Maybe just focus on one thing at a time, because like I said, it's like you're overwhelmed. And if you're affirming all day, every day, and you're doing a mental diet, like, you can get burnt out really fast. So I'm just going to focus on mental diet, and a strict one, and only a couple things right now. I'll probably focus on just small things, or things that I might have less resistance to at first, and then really go hard with the other things. But don't burn yourself out, you guys. Like the Sammy's little 10-minute method thing, that is the way that you should affirm, in my opinion. I don't think you should affirm all day long. And even if you just do it 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, as long as you're connecting to that person that you want to be, and then like not allowing the old story or old thoughts come in your mind, that's really all you need to do. Like, if you scripted one time a day and you just didn't talk against it, it would manifest for you. Like, it's a thought that gains momentum, or a thought that you're dwelling in repeatedly that's manifesting. And if you don't have any opposing thoughts, and then you're still getting that new thought momentum, it's going to manifest. So I've thought about making a challenge too, where we do that, where we just write down one thing that we want to manifest, and we write it down one time every day and see what happens. Yeah, I like these little challenges. I do them too. Like the first one that we did, the 3-day one, the live as if. I don't know why that was so hard for me, but I did not succeed in that at all. And I don't think a lot of other people did either, which is crazy because it's like, that's like the easiest way to manifest like anything, is if you can hold a state for 3 days, but it just feels so hard sometimes for some reason. So, but let's do that. Manifesting is like the easiest thing to do, and then manifesting whatever it is we want is the easiest thing to do. Just say it and claim it like every once in a while, you know, when you feel like manifesting's hard, or you feel like you have questions about manifesting. No, I know exactly what to do. Manifesting is easy for me. And just claim it and let it go, because when you say that and you don't have opposing thoughts, it will manifest. All right, anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. I love you all. Thank you for supporting me. Just know that like it's normal and natural to fall out of the state, not know what you're doing. I don't care what these other coaches say, they all do it too. Anyways, I love you guys. Have a good day.